Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole,
And I'm Brittany.
and this is the 11-Minute Mile, episode 20. I can't even believe it, Brittany.
We're here. We made it to 20 episodes.
I know. It's so funny. We were just saying how consistent we've been. It's not
It's
always like that.
no, but it's hard to stay consistent and even listening for our
It
listeners who have listened
is.
to all 20 episodes. It's a lot.
I
It's like
know.
commitment.
Well, today we're just going to talk about like a little bit touchy subject, body image, and, just things like that. I feel like it's never fun to always talk about those things, but there's a lot of people out there that struggle with that, me included.
Yeah, and I
So,
think it's important to talk about it because keeping it in is what makes it toxic.
yeah, I know at least for my own self, I feel so much better when I talk about it. Like I feel like I release something. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Well, and because when you speak about it, every person you speak to can relate or has someone that can relate. So then it makes you feel less alone, which I feel like is super important in a touchy subject like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just being in the sport of gymnastics, and I know we've talked about this before, and you said that you didn't really struggle that much with it.
Hmm.
I definitely did. I went through a lot of phases in my life where I had an eating disorder, then I was fine. And like you said, being positive with food, which I feel like
Yeah.
is the best way to put it.
Yeah. It's just making sure that you make food is fuel and it's never a toxic part of your view of health, because
Yeah.
when you're like thinking poorly about food, then you're not properly nourishing your body, and that's when it's hard and that's when it's damaging.
You sound like a mom already. Are
I
you giving
am.
me a spiel?
Yeah. Well, I
You're
was talking to
practicing
someone
on
else.
me.
I'm practicing, but hearing, I mean, even coaching gymnastics and being around kids that are that middle school, high school age, it's like, don't let other people decide how you're going to feel about your body. Like, and for, I mean, me, I was just like kind of telling you, like, I didn't hit puberty until I was 16. Like, I didn't have like boobs until I was 16 or 17 years old. So it's like, I can't control that. But like, here I
And people are
am.
so mean. They like pick
They're so
on
mean.
people.
It's like people pick on people for things they can't control. It's like, why are you
Mhm.
going to be like that?
That age is really hard though, in
Yeah.
general. Like when you're just growing up and you're growing into your
Changing.
body and growing like out of your body, it's just like there's so many changes. Because that was my first, I remember it was my senior year of high school. And that was the first time I realized, I would say the first time I went through a phase of an eating disorder.
Hmm.
And I had broken my foot. I had surgery. I put a lot of pressure on myself because I had signed to a school for gymnastics. And I was like, oh my God, I have to be in my best shape. And I just remember how bad it was and how toxic it was. And then from there on out, through like the last, I would say, 13, 14 years, I've definitely gone like in and out. But I think that right now I've been in my best state with it
Yeah. Because
for
fitness
sure.
has been fun for you. Because in gymnastics, I mean, as much as it's a fun sport, when you're at that level, it's like a job. Like you're like, I'm signed, I'm
Yeah.
committed. Like this is my work. I need to make sure I'm my best
It's a
self.
lot
And
of
I feel like having
pressure.
it is a lot of pressure. And it's even you were talking about like how you had to weigh in the scale. I'm like, the scale is like the worst thing ever
Dangerous.
created. I'm like, nobody should own a scale.
I won't keep it in my apartment. No way. I don't
Yeah.
even use it at the gym when I go to the doctors. I feel like I don't pay attention to it. But I mean, I'm definitely not perfect with it. I still have my phases, but I think that this is like the longest point in time that I've done my best, especially
Yeah.
because I love food so much. I'm like,
Hmm.
it's funny. I had a client the other day, Britt, and I was after I was done teaching, and she goes, I follow you on Instagram. You look like you're like out all the time. Like you eat and you're drinking. How do you stay so fit? And I'm like, I feel like I just have a really good positive attitude. And I also like healthy food too. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
eating crap all the time, but
Yeah.
it made me happy that she thought that. And it also makes me happy that I'm not holding back on stuff either
Yeah,
and
because you
putting like
shouldn't.
that
It's
pressure.
even with like dieting in general, just like that pressure of having to stay super regimented, that's not healthy either. Like it's important to have like I have a sweet tooth. I am like I wouldn't say the worst because I would say it's the best because I get to enjoy it. But it's important to make sure you have a balanced, you can't, it needs to be sustainable for you to make it work. And if it's just a diet, if you're dieting all the time, it's like, that's not sustainable. You're not going to ever enjoy it, especially if you
It's not
love eating
fun.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
No
fun at
fun at
all.
all.
I feel like counting your calories and like all that, all those like apps that do that. Granted, I understand like if you need to get into better shape and be healthier and get in your veggies and like fruits and stuff, but I definitely think that can like any type of diet can put you into a really dangerous.
Toxic mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's important to know when you are getting to that point because, of course, like making sure you're eating healthy. And if you do need, if you like that side of it and you like to count, but
Hmm.
it's different if it becomes an obsession and you're
Yeah.
so obsessed with that all the time and just figuring that out.
I think that's how I was too, because when even just before I was an instructor and I was becoming so obsessed with working out all the time, I was working out for all the wrong reasons. And just
Mhm.
like anytime I'd work out, I would go on the scale or I would pick myself apart for some reason. And now it's like I'm working out because I love to take classes. Like I enjoy it.
Mhm.
It's good for me. I feel energized. I like get to release in there. And then I come home and I eat whatever I want to eat too. Like I love to snack, I love food, but I just feel like I'm in a way better mindset than I probably ever was in the last like 14 years. But it's a hard thing to overcome.
Definitely. And it takes time. And I think that's also another thing is like time, it like over time, it's not something you just like picked up and you were like, all of a sudden, I love my body and I love all food and I love
Mhm.
working out. Like it's a process that you have to work at. And I think kind of like stating like a mantra or saying something like positive like affirmations, I
Mhm.
feel like is really helpful because sometimes like your mind will just spiral and you can't control that, but keeping
For
that
sure.
positive mindset and like figuring out like what your trigger is that makes it so that you do go down that spiral is just like not even allowing
Mhm.
yourself to go there. And I feel like I never personally dealt with like an eating disorder. I was like
Mhm.
always like luckily like I did always like have like a great body shape, but I mean like I was saying like I was getting made fun of for like being too skinny or like too strong. It's like people are like you're traps. And I'm like my traps, like good luck getting traps like me. It's so funny because people in
You're like
class will be like
muscle is
I
good,
don't wanna look
people.
like that, like your upper body, like your shoulders, and I'm like, "You don't wanna what? Like, who
You want
are
to be
you to tell?"
strong.
I'm
Go
like,
lift some weights. It's good for you.
it is funny how people I was, like, appalled, and I think someone
I
came up,
remember
like, in
you telling me
class,
that in
or, like,
class.
they're like, "I just wanna fix this," and it's like,
Yeah.
that's not how the body works, like, you have to, like, target everything, it's not
Yeah.
just, like it's we're not on what is it? Like, airbrush, where you could just be like, "Oh, squeeze this,
Oh,
oh, squeeze
yeah.
this."
Airbrush.
Airbrush.
Oh, speaking of airbrush, when I get a spray tan, I know we talked about this. It
Yeah.
is granted, I know that's not the airbrush you were talking about, but it is the
That's
best
the
feeling
best
ever.
airbrush.
Oh my God. If you want to feel super good, getting a spray tan is a complete game changer.
It
I'm
changes your
addicted.
body, it changes your body image for sure. If you're having a bad day, just hides
I
all the imperfections.
I have a little tan on right now and I'm like, yes, can't wait to be tan tomorrow. Um, But yeah, I know it's hard. I also feel like it stems from a really young age too. So it's good to catch it when it's, because I know
Yeah.
my parents definitely like caught it and monitored and because I was becoming so obsessed. And it's not a fun thing to go through. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I
and
feel like,
it's not just, like, parents, because like, coaches, like, you can kinda spot it,
yeah.
like, I remember just seeing how kids, like, reacted, and you're like, at
Hmm.
snack time, all of a sudden, like, snack time's a little awkward, and it's just
Yeah.
making sure you're aware of those situations as you become, like, a parent and that
Yeah.
person of influence.
And everybody's body's different. You got to just like embrace your body, love it no matter what. And I'm
Mhm.
all about being healthy. Like, yes, get your protein, get your fruits, get your veggies. But like, if you want to go have a beer and eat a hot dog, I am also like, that is my favorite thing. I love a freaking street dog, especially when I'm hungover. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. Give me a
That's what I
$3
want.
street dog. It's the
I'm
best.
like all about the mac
Dollar
and
dog, whatever it
cheese.
is.
I'm like
Oh,
macaroni and cheese. It's like, ooh, that's like
yeah,
my
the heavy
sweet.
shit.
Yeah, and then you
I
look at the
love it.
back and you're like, maybe I'll only have this every
It's the
once in a
best,
while.
the best. But
Yeah,
I know, I don't know if we were gonna do takeaways this time, but I feel like what I would say is just love your body. Like you were born the way you are for a reason, and you're amazing no matter what. Like,
definitely. That
don't
should
get
be the only
crazy.
takeaway from the body image. And then the only other thing that I would say is just making sure that your relationship with food is always with the best intentions. Like fuel is there to fuel the
Yes.
body and nothing else.
And don't pay attention to social media because all that shit's fake. Nobody looks like that in real
Don't
life.
let anyone tell you how to feel or how to
Yeah.
look. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Amazing. That was
That was like
fun.
a little like therapy session for me, I feel.
Yeah, it's good. Therapy
Thanks, Britt.
session, hopefully for other people to
Yeah.
listen to.
Well,
All right.
everybody have a good day.
See you for episode number 21.
I can't believe that. What should we talk about?
I
People,
don't know.
message us. Tell us what we should talk about. We need
Tell
some
us
topics.
tell us what to talk about. Give us ideas.
I know there's some friends that follow us. They can give us some topics.
Definitely.
All right, I'll see you.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.